Introducing the all-new Corolla.
The Guam legislature is seeking declaratory judgment from the Supreme Court over its authority to enact laws restricting the use of certain revenues strictly for tax refunds. It was filed after Senator Ben Pangilinan discovered that the governor had transferred funds from the tax refund trust account into the general fund, which the legislature argues is against the law. But the governor's office has repeatedly stated that the funds were transferred, yes, because it was money the refund account owed to the general fund.
I think the tension that is raised here that needs to be addressed is that the Organic Act also provides the governor with the power and the authority to administer and enforce the territorial income tax laws of Guam.
The governor's office asserts that the law the legislature cites conflicts with the governor's Organic Act powers in enforcing the income tax laws of Guam. Attorney John Terlahi for the legislature pointed out that the law has to do with collecting revenues and the set-aside of certain dues. Therefore, it does not interfere with the governor's Organic Act authority.
Every year, the budget takes a certain percentage. This much percentage is going to go to tax refunds. Now, without this issue, it'll be a free-for-all. The governor can take the money and use it for whatever.
But what about the governor's argument that it conflicts with 31 UCA and 1324A2E regarding his position? He says about necessary amounts being appropriated to the Secretary of Treasury for refunds, and he stands in the shoes of the Secretary of Treasury.
We think, again, the Organic Act says yes, and the IRC code gives him the authority to act as tax collector. But this doesn't stop him from collecting tax at all. This gives him the authority to go collect the tax. It's always been authority.
Meanwhile, Governor's Chief Policy Advisor Arthur Clark focused on Governor Cabell's record of paying tax refunds on time.
When the current administration took over office, there was $400 million operational deficit, $300 million of which included tax refunds. If we have to fully fund this, critical government operations are going to be affected. In that situation, Your Honor, I believe one of the remedies that's available to the executive branch is to go out and float a bond in order to make things whole. And that is what this administration did.
What happens in the situation where the governor does withdraw from the trust fund to use it for general operations, you say can occur? And if it turns out that during the course of the year, because of the drop in revenue and the responsible and the expenditures being fixed, that the governor is not able to repay it at the end of the fiscal year.
But that's actually been the case, Your Honor, over the last 20 years. And that's how we accumulated this deficit.
So at that time is when the violation occurs. Because you say that so long as he has the intention of repaying it and he repays it, then everything is okay.
What I'm saying, Your Honor, is because he's repaid it, the issue was rendered moot. And that's
so what about my hypothetical question? What if there's not sufficient money, and you say it's normally, of course, the case, that it cannot be repaid? What if it cannot be repaid? At that time, is there a violation?
Your Honor, then we would say that the governor, when faced with situations where he has competing appropriation requirements for which there is not enough resources to go around, the governor's ability to manage, to execute the expenditures of the administration would then require him to take actions as has been taken in the past. Disingenuous for the legislature to say, now that $467 million need to go into this account when the overarching rule has been, requirement has been satisfied, which is tax refunds are being paid, they're being timely